Hey folks, Martyupnorth. Just getting ready this morning to take off to go for a little hike, and I just wanted to talk a little bit about how I prepare for the hikes. I know I've talked about it on other videos, but specifically I wanted to talk about how I plan the hikes and where I go. So, of course, I've hiked a lot of trails in the national parks, and the national parks have great trail systems, but I've pretty much done everything. So now I'm exploring what are called the public land use zones in Alberta, which are crown lands set aside for recreation. And there's some great hiking opportunities in those areas, but a little bit harder to find stuff. So what I do is I've been researching on the internet. So I go on the internet, I look at other YouTubers, things like that. But fundamentally, I rely on my maps. So this is a great map here by a company called GemTrek. So they do great maps of the Rockies. And today, or after extensive research, I decided that I'm going to go down into the Kananaskis area, and I'm going to go to a place called Lake of the Horns and follow McPhail Creek. So what I do then in a situation like that, especially what I learned on crown land like that, is the trails aren't the trails are defined, but there's not a lot of markers, not a lot of things on the trail. So you run across a lot of intersections, but you don't know what goes where. So I get my bearings from these maps, and then I go to my trusted software for my GPS. And what I do is I find points of references on the map, and I have actually topographic data here. I use Garmin's software, and what I do is I enter the general areas that I want to go into, and then I load it up into my GPS. So I take my GPS to the woods. In this situation, in the national parks, I haven't been taking my GPS anymore because they're so well marked. But here in this case, especially after some of you saw my little misadventure when I tried to get to Landslide Lake. So now today I'm smarter about this. I'm taking my GPS, taking my map, and I'm also taking a trusty compass. And that's because once I'm out there, I want to show you guys how some of my tricks for navigating. Now, this is not meant to be a tutorial on how to use MapSource by Garmin, but I just want to show you. So in my case, I do have the Garmin software, and I've actually I purchased the topographic software that goes with it. So this is Lake of the Horns, where I want to go to, and what I've done is I've set some waypoints. So from the maps, I could tell, from the maps and some of the information I've read, along the top of McPhail Creek where it splits up, there's an area that's a campground. So I might not be totally correct, but I'm putting this down as a campground. I'm also putting the outlet creek of the lake as a waypoint. So I'm putting this campground as a waypoint. Then I'm just putting waypoints, loading waypoints along the way that follow the valley along McPhail Creek, and then I have a rough idea that the trailhead is somewhere here along Highway 40. So then when I want to build a route, it's pretty easy. I go to my route tool, and then I just start building a route from there to there. Actually, I gotta scroll across, sorry folks, to there, and so forth. And all I do now is I build a rough, actually I can add not random waypoints, but I can add waypoints in between, just like that, and suddenly I have a route. And that's all I'm doing right now, is I'm building a route that will go in my GPS and give me an idea of where I'm going. So for me, the hikes themselves are fun, but the other really fun part is actually preparing for the hike, thinking about the hike, researching the hike, and doing different things. So and in a lot of instances, there's history. So last week when I went to the Black Rock Lookout, it's worth studying the history of that lookout. It just enriches the whole experience. So I just wanted to show you that these are how I prepare for my hikes. It's nothing too complicated. Actually, it's a lot easier than it was 30 years ago because we have the internet, we have books, we have maps, we have YouTube, we have social medias, we have blogs. We have guys like me that do a lot of work for folks. So hope you enjoy this hike. So in this case, it's a good topographic map. The 1 to 50,000 scales, they're good. And the 1 to 50,000 scale is the Canadian Geographic Survey standard. And that's what a lot of these maps are based on. Canada is a country that has a great source of maps, but when you buy a map, they're not, these maps have been customized. They have trails indicated on them, they have history, they have comments on the back, they have lots of things. Then of course you need a compass, and then I'm bringing a GPS, and because a GPS is an electronic device, you need extra batteries. Now, like I said, in the national parks, I don't bring the GPS anymore because the trails are easy to find and they're marked. So there's anytime you meet a junction, the national parks have put an indicator. In these pure crown land areas, there's a few indicators sometimes because the people put them themselves or put up a little marker or something, a little piece of carved wood. But there's a lot of intersecting trails. My problem is not finding trails. I can find trails, but it's finding trails that lead to the right place. So that's where maps come in handy. And I'll talk while I'm out there about things that I do to find myself. I mean, following animals and humans, I've always followed the easy path. So valleys, ridges, the lay of the land, things like that. And I'll talk a little bit about that. Sometimes I lose the trail, but I'll show you tricks for refinding it. It's important if you have a map. I always say that for a map, the most important thing is to be able to find north and south. Compasses are great for finding north and south, but once you gain experience, you know a lot of other things. You know where the sun rises and sets. I mean, everybody knows that at noon the sun is usually dead south on the horizon, things like that. In the country here, the moss does grow only on the south side of trees. Things like that. So there's some very interesting things that you can do to help you navigate. So I'll do a little bit of focus on navigating this trip because it's a short hike. It won't take me long to get there, so I'll have time to stop and do some documentary style stuff.
The bridge is out. This is the Cat Creek area along Highway 40. The bridge is out because of the big flooding of a couple of years ago. The Highwood in particular flooded and took out a lot of shore banks and demolished the campground. So nobody's out here. It's raining right now. This is what happened when this river flooded. It took out this quote-unquote bridge, so the campground there can't be used. This is what it looks like a minute away from the trailhead. So I'm going to follow the Highwood River. And then at some point, McPhail Creek dumps in it, and I'll start following that. But up ahead, about 2 kilometers, I have to cross this river. Sorry if it's wobbly. Believe it or not, I forgot my camera, so I'm using my iPhone today. It looks like so far. You can hear the river. Hard to find the trail because the river washed everything out. I'm just gonna climb up here. Interesting. Just want to show, look at this stuff. Isn't that interesting? You can hear the river just there, and this is because the river used to flow here and it just deposited all this sand. So this would have been, like, rivers change courses all the time. This is where I'm supposed to ford this river. And you can see that the arrow is a little off the pink line, so the waypoint I marked at home was pretty close, you know, but in this case I followed an old road, so it wasn't hard to find, but it shows the principle. Let's see if Tikka follows. Come on, Tikka. This is the shit. Ooh, this is deep and fast. She's coming. Holy fuck, it's definitely deep. She's not gonna come. I'll have to go back and get her, I think. Holy shit. Holding the camera and the phone is not an easy task right now. Luckily the water, holy shit. Come on, Tikka. Come on, Tikka. Come on, girl. Come on. Come on, puppy. Come on, girl. Come on, Tikka. Come on, girl. You're there. Come on. Come on, girl. You know how to swim. Good girl. We'll take off that pack. That is bear shit. Just want to show you guys something. That is wild strawberries. And there's lots of them. And that's why this is a dangerous area. So when you go through an area that has fruit like this, especially this time of year, I'll explain later, but you want to, the bears are feeding, so you want to get out of these areas quickly. What a gorgeous, gorgeous view. And look at that. That's either a hunting camp or an outfitter camp. Come on, Tikka, come here. Come on, girl. Come on. Come on. Good girl. Look at that mountain. It absolutely looks like a perfect pyramid. In fact, sorry for shaking so much, I think it is called Mount Pyramid. So now I'm wondering what to do, because if you look behind me, there's a trail there. There's a trail there. That's where I'm heading. Let me show you the front side. Same that. So if I had to guess, to me that look. Oh no, that's the pass I see. That pyramid mountain is Mount Muir. So the lake is up there. Okay, so I gotta go this way. There's a fire ring, so that's a good sign. Step one, collect some wood. This is my pack. This is a nice flat area where I'm going to set up my tent, but first I'm going to make a snack, eat, and then my plan for eat first, and then my plan is to it's early, like I got here at 3 o'clock, so grab a bite, set up camp, and then I'll head up to the lake. It's only 1 kilometer away, but it's straight uphill, and I'll go explore. So my quick snack is one of these dehydrated foods by the company called Wise. It's a company I'd never heard of, so I emailed them and they sent me some sample. So this is just an individual portion, but should be good for a snack. Just need to add water, 1 cup. So that didn't take very long. Hey, my girl. I'm just gonna put it in the pouch and let it stand for 10 minutes or so. Take out that little oxygen absorber first. Put a cup of water in there, and then I rolled up the lip and used the clip from my bear spray just to hold it closed. So 10 minutes, we'll see what it tastes like. I don't have a tripod because I'm using my cell phone, but it's actually anything warm is good. Actually, it's pretty good. It's tasty, very tasty. I have set up and taken down camps probably 100 times in my life. Huh, 100. Way more than 100. God, I got 100 nights in the bush just hunting. Well, it is 4 o'clock, so feels good. I mean, it's cloudy, but who cares? Camp is set up. I have a full belly, had a good lunch, some of that Wise brand dehydrated food, and then hot chocolate. Now I got water, camp is set up, and I'm going to hike up and go see this lake. The trail is that way through the bush. That lake is tucked inside that cirque. Is a baby rough grouse. A couple of them just flew. I left camp, which is down there along the river. I started climbing, but it doesn't take long. Tree line's just up there. It's getting closer. Those crazy hoodoos. I came from way down there. Wow. This is tiring. Now that's what I call a head wall. The lake is up there. I can feel the strain already. Shit. This is dangerous. This is probably the worst part right here. Look behind me. It's pure billy goat territory. Very dangerous. Tikka came through there. I'll show you. Here, watch. A sheer cliff face. And look at this. The cloud is bending around this mountain. The lake's got to be right around the corner. Ooh, clouds are coming in. Watch this. Wow. Look at that. Well, that's too bad. We'll stay here. It's only 5:30. Wow, that took me an hour and a half to climb 1.5 kilometers. Ridiculously slow, but we're gonna relax here. Hopefully the sun comes up and we get to see this spectacular spot. This lake drains, the whole entire lake drains right there. And that's the waterfall we were seeing on the other side. Check it out. I can't see the valley, and I've only been here at this lake for a couple of minutes, like 10 minutes max. Holy shit, it's gonna be tricky hiking out if I can't see the trail. Whoops. That's a little ptarmigan. Well, them's the breaks, I guess. You win a few, you lose a few. Make it all the way here to this lake, and I can't see it because it is all socked in. I'll wait another 30 minutes, but the good thing is it's fairly easy. It's what I would call medium reward. No, high reward to medium work. It was kind of tough, you know. It took me 7 hours to get here from the car, so that's a good jaunt for a mere 12 kilometers, but it's definitely a place I will be coming back. Probably take the mountain bike and bike all the way to follow the river with the mountain bike and then hike the rest of the way. That's probably the best way to do it. Wow, we gotta go down that. Holy smokes. That's where we're going. Can't see shit. This is the trail. It's actually looking pretty gorgeous down in the valley. On the way up, we went too close to the creek. So any viewer that's thinking of doing this, when you get to those trees, there's actually a trail through the trees, so that's the easiest way. Look at that hoodoo. It totally looks like a person guarding this valley. That's completely amazing. I'm gonna go up close and take some pictures. That hoodoo looks like a profile of a person that is actually guarding this valley. Man, I don't know, that looks eerie as hell. That's cool. My heart is fucking racing big time right now. There's a cinnamon bear right on the trail just up ahead. Barely. I got my bear spray in my hand. There he is. You see him? I am shaking. Holy shit. Wow. Look at that. I got the bear spray. He was close. I saw him and then I stopped right away, grabbed Tikka, and then I backed up a little bit, but he was still on the trail. So I grabbed the canister, and I think Tikka smelt him right away. Oh, wow. Quick story about the canister. Neat thing, well, not neat thing, but when I was putting my pack in the car, somehow or other the orange clip came off, and when I was pushing the pack into the trunk of my car, psh, big spray just shot right past my head, and I was like, what the heck is that? Holy shit. Somehow or other I pushed on the trigger when I was shoving the pack into the car, and I came like, you know, inches from getting sprayed directly in the face. That would have ruined this trip, but it's good to know the spray works. The interesting thing about all this is I had the bell in my hands and I was trying to make as much noise as possible. I had it on Tikka's collar. Well, not on her collar. I had it on her pack. And then I took off her pack to climb and I just put on her leash. And because she had it on her leash, it was dangling and I was afraid it might fall off. So I took it off and started carrying it in my hands. But it just goes to show, even making noise and yelling out once in a while and having the dog in front of me, still came across a bear. So you got to be careful, extra careful, especially this time of year. They get preoccupied. They're feeding on the berries and they don't pay attention is what happens. I saw something up ahead on the trail, but that bear was so blonde, like cinnamon color. So that's what caught me off guard, because as soon as I saw something, I was a little curious. I was like, what is that? You know, could it be an elk? Because there's a lot of elk around here, or maybe a deer. I mean, it was that color. Literally, it was as blonde can be. Not even cinnamon. That sucker was blonde. Gorgeous. This is the kind of forest you expect to maybe encounter a bear. So that's the trail back there. And that's the trail forward. You can't see it very well. So this is where you have to make noise because you can catch them off guard. But I think the reason he was on that slope up there is because I saw strawberries along the trail. They're exposed in the sun and they're already ripe. Down here, there's no fruit right now. I tell you what, right now, I'm kind of on high alert. I got the bear spray handy. Got a nice big fire going. And I've never seen Tikka. I've literally never seen Tikka wander away from the camp like she is right now. She's just sniffing everything around. I don't even know where she is. Let's call her. Tikka! Tikka! There she is. Hi, my girl. What'd you find? What'd you find? Tikka, sit, 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 sit. Good girl. Sit, stay, sit. What'd you find? What'd you find? Did you find a bear? That's my juice water. I'm pretty parched right now, dehydrated. A little bit late to dry anything, but we'll dry it tomorrow. I wasn't hungry when I got here, but now I grabbed, you know, just a bunch of things that I had kicking around in the house. I've been hiking a lot lately and I had all these foods left over. So today I'm gonna just, thought I was grabbing a Thai chicken, or rice, but it looks like it's chicken flavored rice. That's okay. And then I'm gonna add this hot chili tuna to it, so that should be good. Give me some protein. Hey Tikka, and if I don't eat it all, you can have some of it. Got a hot chocolate in there and an Ichiban soup. We're in good shape. I was miserable, but now I got my long pants. I brought a pair of sort of pajama pants or whatever, so I'm dry. When I first got here, I wasn't hungry, but now, you know, as you sit around, you get hungry. So everybody knows my strategy. I just boil water constantly and then make everything from the water. What's going on there? Got the fire going. Keep the boots dry a bit, and then keep boiling water all night long. Have a tea and a soup and some rice. There's my water and my bear spray handy. The weather's going to turn on me, I can tell. So I'm going to eat, probably make this meal and eat it under the awning, probably. Let the fire go out. It's already 8:20 and sunset's at 9:15 tonight, so, and it's hazy. Well, 6:18. Sorry, I put my finger in front of the camera. According to my GPS, sunrise is 6:15, so technically the sun's out, but looking out the tent, barely. I can see it's still cloudy. Tent feels wet on the outside. I unzipped it. Anyways, you know my routine. I'm gonna get up, make a big fire, boil some water, have an oatmeal, string out a rope, dry this tarp because I don't like to carry the extra weight of a wet tarp, and start making my way out. There's a few things to explore. If you were base camping here, you could go to the McPhail gap up ahead, or you could go back to the Hill of the Flowers, but I've been on many hills around here hunting, so purpose was not to explore today. It was just to come, well, it was to get my bearings and decide if I want to come back, and this is definitely an area I'll be coming back to. I was wrong. Look at all the smoke. It's a gorgeous day. Still early, but there's a sight for sore eyes. Fire in the morning. This is right in our camp. Nice elk droppings. So if I align the map the way I think I am, because I'm right here right now at this junction, the suggested campsite, and the trail goes almost straight east, and I'm looking almost straight north. So if I look at my compass, sure enough, the compass is pointing pretty much straight north that way. Now, there's a scale here that shows the difference between the magnetic north and the true north. So the magnetic north will be about 14 degrees. So kind of hard to do it with one hand, but I would adjust my compass so that I always have to subtract 15 degrees. So right now this trail is actually pointing at true north, or at north, but if I adjust 15 degrees this way, then I can see that I'm a little bit pointing, well, you get what I'm saying. I'll have to do another video with somebody helping me to show how this is done, but what I wanted to show is that it's pretty accurate. That's pointing to north, and the thing is, the sun comes up in the east, so right now the sun's going to come up over there, which is fantastic. It's going to pop up over that ridge, and then it's going to dry my clothes and my tent, so I'm good. Check it out. That is like the most massive beaver dam. He's got, well, I'm standing on a beaver dam, and there's another one there and a third one over there. These things are massive. That's the beauty of doing a trail backwards. You see things that you might not have paid attention to on the way in, so you get to see it differently on the way out. Check out how red these things are. That's bear shit. I have no idea what the hell he's eating. Like, what gives him those seeds like that? Something. So they are out here. Don't know if it's true, but it appears true. Somebody once told me that bears like to take a crap on trails instead of in the bush. I don't know why, but I've seen a lot of crap on trails. You know, other animals you see it on the bush, but here for bears you always see it on the trail. That's where we were, right between those two peaks there, and tucked in there is a lake. And over there is the Hill of the Flowers, and it's a 4-kilometer return trip and a 550-meter elevation gain. So I didn't quite feel like going there today, but I'll come back someday and we'll make a day trip there. I imagine the views from there are absolutely spectacular. Isn't that amazing? Wow. Look at that. I'm just walking, and for the last hour, or not hour, for the last couple of kilometers, the fields have been just full of these berries. You know, and it's still relatively safe to be picking berries. I mean, yeah, the bears are eating them for sure, but you know, they're not feeling the stress of winter yet. You wouldn't want to come across a bear who's feeding on berries in late September, especially not a smaller one, or October, because when they start feeling the stress of winter, they know if they've gained enough weight or not to survive and hibernate. So, you know, that's the risk. But check this out. So, oh my God. Some of them, I wish I could just spend an hour here, you know, just collect them. Eating them with cream. Oh my God, that would be so good. It rained overnight, so the river is a little bit higher than yesterday, so we'll cross it up there and let the current take Tikka down a little bit, but I'll take her pack off. But yeah, you can see the river, this was dry yesterday, so it's probably 2-3 inches higher. She always does that when she crosses the river and gets soaking wet. She just finds a patch of grass and just rolls. I think it's her way to dry off. Well, there you have it, folks. It's the last 500 yards or so. Hope you enjoyed this. Be an experience for me because unfortunately I forgot my other camera at home, so I was worried, but I taped it all on my iPhone and I'm at 5% battery, so I'm just at the end of my iPhone here. Hope you enjoyed this little hike overnight to Lake of the Horns. It's a great area. It's what I would qualify as, check out that view, man. Wow. It's what I would qualify probably actually low work, high reward, or medium work if you climb to the lake, and extremely amazing reward if you get there without the sun disappearing and being socked in. So, and it's a great base camp to explore and do other things. So there you go. Hope you enjoyed it. Thanks for watching. And remember my motto, man. Don't watch these parks and these amazing areas from the highway. Get out of your car. Get off the beaten path, folks. Get off the beaten path. Cheers. Hey, Tikka. Tired already? We've only been in the car 2 minutes. Poor girl's already sleeping.